chance of snow tonight and tomorrow, Saturday morning. But, well, it's...
The death throes of winter, right?
Time for Thinking Real Estate. Jackie Austin hosting today. Laura's on assignment.
She is on assignment, so I get the fun duty of doing the radio. Yay!
You love it, Jackie.
I do. I get a lot of compliments, so it kind of
there
makes
you
me
go.
feel good.
Sure.
So, well, I brought with me today Scott Tenbrink from the Fitness Council, and we're going to talk about, just kind of some different active community things, which he just used that phrase, and I thought that was a really good one. So, hi, Scott.
Hi, good morning, Jackie. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So I know you've got some good stuff coming up. Tell us a little bit about what the Fitness Council is, and
Well,
what you guys
first of
do.
all, whether you believe it or not, when you looked out your window this morning, spring is on its way, and that means that people are starting to think about getting up, getting outside, getting moving again, and we're trying to encourage that. Now, at the Fitness Council, we tend to focus on walking, biking, stuff that you can build into your everyday life, and that active living, active community kind of concept. There's a lot of people out there and organizations that are doing great things to provide lots of opportunities. For example, the YMCA has some fantastic programming right now, and that's great for a number of people, but we still think that there's room for people to get moving as part of their regular day, and so that's our focus. So it really makes a difference when the weather turns and people don't feel like they have to put their snowshoes on or their winter parka to get outside.
Yeah.
Not to say you can't be active in the winter. Don't get me wrong.
Well, Laura and I got snowshoes for Christmas, so we've been snowshoeing for the
Did you get
most
to
of
use
the
them?
winter. Yeah, we a little bit. Yeah, it was fun.
We had a cold winter, but we didn't have an excessively snowy winter down here. So
Yeah.
did you have to travel to get...
No, we were lucky. We just went out to the country club, and when we got snow, we got a lot of it, and on the golf course it stayed so we got to use those. It was fun.
Great, great.
So
Yeah, so in the spring, then we start to ramp up. First of all, you're going to see the race series, the local race series, which Orthopedic Rehab is sponsoring this year, and their race is coming up this Saturday.
Okay.
We'll be at that, and I should do a little plug for that, because Orthopedic Rehab does a 5K race and an 8K race. It's one of the more competitive races, one of the bigger races in the county, and especially for early in this year. And there's a special opportunity this year because the Fitness Council is helping to host a just under 1 mile run walk as part of that.
That's different.
And that event, the 5K and the 8K are not, but that 1 mile event is absolutely free, and anybody from the public can come.
That's afterwards?
So the 5K and 8K will start just after 8 o'clock, and then our race will be at 9:30. The idea is to do it right before the awards ceremony for the 5 and 8K.
And where does that race take place, or where's the start line?
Yeah, the start is at P&T Fitness, right
Okay.
downtown at 225 North Jackson.
Okay.
If you're coming to the 9:30 race, parking is going to be an issue. They fill up downtown parking pretty well, and the race happens right downtown, which is a lot of fun, but it also means that a lot of downtown streets are going to be closed. So even if you're not, and I encourage you to do it, to come out, if you're planning on driving that day, it's a good day to plan a way around downtown, or just give us a little time to open up. By 10 o'clock, all the streets will be open.
Okay.
But yeah, so that event's coming up, and I'd love to have as many people as we could just come down and kind of start off your year. Probably, if you recall, a couple months ago, you made some New Year's resolutions that have been hard to live up to.
Those are tough.
Yeah. Especially with the bad weather, and this is a chance to kind of kickstart things.
Okay.
But we've got a lot of, the race series goes on all summer. That's great for people who have a committed schedule, have an idea of what they want to accomplish, they want to participate in these events.
Most of those people are already fit.
Yeah, well, I think there's two groups of those people. We've got this group of runners and people who are fit in Jackson, and they're going to show up at the races. They're just waiting to find out when that happens. But one area that the whole race community, the race directors, and the Fitness Council, and Allegiance, and a number of places are interested in is reaching out and making those events more accessible to
Everybody.
everybody, people who haven't thought about it before. So,
Well,
for example, this 1 mile thing,
that's great.
that's not a big commitment. Unless you have a medical issue, you're probably going to be able to do a 1 mile. We don't time it. Nobody wins that race.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not going to do awards. It's just a chance to get out and do it. So.
Well, yeah, and like Laura and I started doing some of these 5Ks last year.
Right.
Actually, the first one we did was on her birthday last year, and it was kind of my birthday present to her to spend the day with her doing this. I'd never done one before, but now I'm kind of into it, and I do like it. And it's a fairly easy way to do it. To get ready for it, we're just doing simple things like we will actually walk the race at a slow pace a couple of times before the actual race, so we know what the route is and things like that. So anybody can do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Dress warm.
Yeah.
Dress warm for Saturday. With a 1 mile, if we were talking about a 5 or 8K, usually I encourage people to dress in layers because you're going to want to lose them probably right before the race. You're always warmer than you think. But with 1 mile, you're barely going to warm up before you get to the end, most likely. So, yeah, you definitely want to dress warm for that one.
Well, we'll be down there broadcasting Saturday morning, and I recall last year it was really miserable.
I think it was a little rainy too last
Rainy
year,
and
right?
cold.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of people being inside.
It was,
In fact, you guys were not one of the lucky people that made it inside.
no,
were you?
we were outside. So that was yeah.
So I know another thing that you've got coming up is the Smart Commute program. Tell us what that is.
Right. So we've got all these programs that are for the fit people already, Greg, or the people who are motivated to get more fit, get more activity. But Smart Commute is more about just finding small ways to build physical activity into your day. And we focus on the work day. So Smart Commute is kind of a celebration of walking and biking to work. Walking, biking, and busing to work. We fit that in there. Just thinking of some different ways to get to work. So we're going to kick it off with a big event on Friday, May 17. We'll have a leader ride where a bunch of the community leaders will ride with me down the bike trail. We'll look at some features that make our community unique, look at some places where we could possibly get some better improvement. And we're not just talking about building more bike lanes or anything like that. We're just talking about integrating our community, the people in our community, to our facilities and that kind of thing. So, and we always have a competition each year. If you register to participate in Smart Commute, you get a green T-shirt. On the third Friday of May each year, you see lots of people all around the community wearing their green Smart Commute T-shirts. So it's just a really fun event. But the Smart Commute then goes on all summer long. And on the third Friday of each month, May, June, July, and August, we have Smart Commute events. This year we're going to have a bunch of extra Smart Commute events that other partners are helping us to promote and hold. But, so some examples of the things that we do. We do a paddle to work. In June, we work with GREAT, the Grand River Environmental Action Team, and they provide us with boats, and we do this paddle down the river that ends up right at Consumers. And so that's just a unique way to experience the city. We're not saying that people are going to start paddling to work necessarily, but it's a way to kind of get yourself outside of your
Something different.
Traditional, yeah. In July, we do a high heel bike ride. And
that's fun. I did that one last year.
that is a unique event, and the whole thing came from every year when we do Smart Commute, people say, I have to dress like a professional. You, Scott, don't dress up for work. You can show up in your tracksuit or whatever, and that fits your fitness council image. For me, I'm a banker, I'm a real estate agent, I'm a whatever, and I have to look good. And so we said, well, we believe that anybody can find a way to fit that in. And so High Heel Bike Ride was just a fun way to do that. Last year we had over 50 participants,
Yeah, it was a lot of
and
people.
well over 100 people downtown to watch, first of all, a bike parade of people all dressed up, whether they're wearing high heels, top hats. We had
There were some
the
crazy
gang.
outfits last year.
We had the whole group at the Chamber and Experience Jackson all wore prom dresses together. So it was really fun. Then afterwards we have a picnic. We select the Best Dressed Cyclist Award and the Best Shoes. So that's a fun event, and we have a number of things like that coming up through the summer. So if you want to participate in that, you should go to the Fitness Council website, fitnesscouncil.org, and click on the Smart Commute tab, and that'll kind of get you rolling as far as information about what's coming up and how to register.
Right.
Scott, is a goal actually to get people to ride a bike to work?
Yeah, so we focus on trip to work. That's a real easy specific thing to pick out, but any way that you can fit physical activity into your day. So we've got
because I imagine a lot of people would like to ride to work, but it's just not feasible.
Distance is the number one thing that I hear.
Okay.
Brad Fleury, I'll use him as an example.
Okay.
He lives up in Leslie. So we have talked about Smart Commute in the past, and he's always said, if I left on Monday, I'd be lucky to make it by Thursday in the shape that I'm in and the distance I have to travel.
Sure.
And so we've tried to address that in a lot of ways, like for Friday, May 17, we have park and ride spots. So you can drive into the city, park at one of the city parks, and we have a meetup station there. You can meet up with friends and walk the rest of the way to the work. We even have one right downtown at P&T Fitness, so somebody like Brad could park over by P&T Fitness and walk right around the corner to work.
And well, Laura and I, we try to work it in. We have to have cars available to show houses and things like that. But
Come on, throw them on your bike.
I know, seriously. When we run downtown or something like that. When we run downtown, we just take our bikes because we have our bikes at the office, and we can run downtown on our bikes and come right back. And it's a pretty easy little thing. It's maybe 10 or 15 minutes, but it's something.
So here is something really interesting. Just because you brought that up, Greg, I'm seeing more and more Chicago, this is actually becoming really popular, and Minneapolis, I know, realtors are starting to show properties by bike because the properties along some of the greenways and trails are so much of the interest in buying those properties is about their connection to those facilities, that they want to show them off in that way. They want to approach the house from the trail because that's what people are looking for.
That's certainly something Laura and I might think about. Is,
I don't know.
Doing that.
I think that I know that when my family started looking for a house, the first thing we did was see what houses were available along the Falling Waters Trail. Mm-hmm. We didn't end up living right on the trail, but
it's not too far.
It's possible. Now, Jackson has a ways to go, I think, before we have something that is really an attractive corridor to live on along the trail. People who live along the Falling Waters Trail, the people that I know anyway, really love that. But there's some other things that we can do to build it.
What do they love about it? Is it just
I think they love that they can walk right out their back door.
Okay.
If you think about the people, where the Falling Waters Trail goes through some real rural land right between Jackson and Concord, and all of those people had to get in their car and go somewhere to have some kind of park experience. Certainly they would have a woodland hike, and you could walk down most of that property before, but it wasn't well developed. If you had a bad ankle or you were worried about your time out there, the Falling Waters Trail's, smooth, flat, paved surface is much nicer, and they all had access to that right away. So they really liked that, even though there was some resistance, I know, before I moved to the community about putting that trail in. That was real contentious, but a large part of those people are now some of the most active trail users.
You would call that a great success, wouldn't you?
I would call that a great success. And I saw, 2 years after we put it in, the county said they did a count that they probably had about 72,000 trips down the Falling Waters Trail per year. I would guess that is up significantly, and I'm not going to guess what that is, but so number of trips, that's a really successful
it's a great
investment.
And it's great for the community. I know when we're selling real estate, that's always something. If the house is near that's always a selling point because it's so easy to use and it's such a great trail. If you haven't been on it, I definitely recommend at least trying it out because it's so smooth and flat and easy to walk or ride your bike down. Very easy. So.
Yeah, so the thing with the trail that the Fitness Council is trying to promote now is that trail actually goes all the way downtown, but a lot of people aren't aware of that because we don't have a lot of information that tells people about that. And one of the other movements that I've kind of seen is towards this trail town concept. How do you connect your community to the trail in a way that you get more economic benefit? Because everybody's talking about the economic benefit of trails, both in increasing property values, attracting new employers, and the money that people spend when they're on the trail. But none of that's going to happen if people don't feel like there's a connection between the trail and your community. So that's one of the things that we're kind of focusing on.
And I know the trail that goes downtown, that part of it, you guys did a lot of work on, or this whoever maintains it did a lot of work on it last year, so it's even better than it was.
It's in a much better condition. The city has done a much better job of cleaning it up. I'll say if you go out this week, if you brave the rain and go out this week, that you're going to see a lot of garbage along there, and it happens every year, just like it does along the highway. No matter where you're driving right now, you're seeing a lot of garbage out there, so we're hoping to get out and clean it up.
Yep. So, well, we've only got a minute left. Anything else you want to, any other activities you guys have coming up? Anything else?
I will mention just briefly that the Armory Bike Union is a program of the Fitness Council. We do bike recycling, and we kind of build educated, confident cyclists and bike culture in Jackson. It's located right up inside of the old Armory, inside of the old state prison, and we've got a bike swap coming up.
Yep.
We'd love to have people attend. That's going to be on
calendar.
Saturday, May 11th from 10 to 2.
Yep.
So it's a chance. We just provide a marketplace. If somebody wants to sell a bike, they can bring it there. If somebody wants to buy a bike, stop by. And it's a chance to meet people, find out about bikes, learn about the Armory.
Yep, sounds good. Well, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
If anybody has any questions or wants to get involved with the Fitness Council, how can they get a hold of you?
Phone is a great way at 517-990-9798. You can also check us on the web at fitnesscouncil.org, and like everybody else, we're on Facebook.
All right, and just real quick before we take off, I've got one new listing that we just got last week. It's 2115 Crest Avenue. It's off of South Street. Very cute house. The owners have gone in and redone everything. Just a small little bungalow, but it's got two bedrooms, 1 bath, main floor laundry. Everything's new inside and out, so it's a great little steal for $39,900. So if you have any questions on that, give me a call. Office number is 780-3800, or check us out online at thinkingrealestate.com.
Thanks, Jackie.
Thanks.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Greg.
Like it. I love it. I can't
Good
get
job.